Assalamu alaikum, my name is Joe Bradford and welcome to Inside My Library. Today we'll be talking about Islamic Finance by Mahmoud Al-Gamal. And this copy that I have was a gift from the author years ago when the book was just released, and I'm very grateful to him for that. But first, if this is your first time here, I do book reviews every Wednesday about books that I have in my personal library. So be sure to subscribe to my channel below and enable alerts to be able to get the latest videos. So back to this book. The full title is Islamic Finance, Law, Economics, and Practice by Mahmoud Al-Gamal. The book is divided into 10 chapters in addition to a brief conclusion. The first chapter is an introduction which starts with the story of Martin Luther and a cobbler to whom the former advised to sell a good shoe at a fair price rather than a Christian shoe. This sets the perspective for the whole book. In the author's mind, the term Islamic finance brings an analogy to the concept of a Christian shoe rather than having good products that are fairly priced. The book also ends at the same story. The author is very critical of the role of Sharia supervisory boards and calls them rent-seeking arbitrageurs. He likens their role to the European pre-Reformation practice of selling indulgence certificates by religious figures and clerics. The author argues that these rent-seeking legal arbiters put excessive emphasis on contract forms rather than analyzing the substance, thus sacrificing economy and efficiency for preservation of form. As evidence, he presents a number of examples, like the home mortgage transaction, where, as he says, the requirement of multiple sales, special purpose vehicles, and documentations of title may add tax as well as legal costs. Now, this book is a great critique of the Islamic finance industry and asks the hard questions that way too many Sharia scholars shy away from. Some people are quite livid with Dr. Al-Gamal for this, but I for one appreciate this approach. My own experience in the Islamic finance industry actually matches up to some of the points that he makes. Now, not that Al-Gamal says this in the book, but many a reader has walked away with the impression that there are only two choices in matters of financial systems. Either you accept Islamic finance hook, line, and sinker, or you accept conventional finance the same. This misconception is exacerbated by the very monochromatic means that Sharia scholars use to analyze new issues that arrive. Can't find this issue in a medieval book of fiqh? Well, I guess it's haram then. It's an all too common cop-out to get shy away from actual research and creation of real solutions. Al-Gamal tackles most of the major instruments used in the Islamic finance industry head-on, shows the similarities to conventional products or the absurdities of their implementation. His chapter on the definitions of riba and gharar as unbundled credit and risk, respectively, is particularly good and deserves further attention by you, the reader. The end of the book deals with Islamic financial institutions, governance, and regulatory solutions in mutuality. Mutuality, shared risk, is the author's answer to how Islamic finance should be run, and is another part of the book that deserves your attention. He ends the book exploring how the Islamic brand name has been diluted and makes suggestions for a new Islamic finance identity. All in all, if you're an Islamic finance professional, scholar, enthusiast, or just an avid reader, you need to read this book. It will open your eyes to new ideas you haven't heard in your normal Islamic finance studies and make you reevaluate how you go through the process of creating a finance that is quote-unquote Islamic. Thanks for watching. If you've read this book or have a similar title that you think may be a better read, let me hear from you in the comments, and I'll see you next time inside my library.